So I guess this means at the close-up that our map ban is ready to go. So,
well, let's see what we got here. Now, last time these two played each other, it was on Consulate, the first half of the season. So far, that has not gotten the ban. Clubhouse and Cafe, though, you said Cafe getting banned a lot. Clubhouse might have been what they played, or one of them played last time, which wouldn't surprise me. But it looks like we're going to end up with Consulate again. All right, a rematch. Now, last time that didn't go their way, the Soniqs' way. It was 7-3 DarkZero, which isn't a huge surprise.
Yeah, 7-3. So Reciprocity played DarkZero, played in number 7. They played Clubhouse, and DarkZero ended up winning. And then TSM played the Soniqs on Dostoevsky, and it was a 7-4 for TSM.
Yeah.
So it makes sense, I guess, now with the maps confirmed 100%.
And Soniqs, when they also had played this map against Reciprocity, didn't do so well either. It was a 4-7, meaning they got beaten by Reciprocity. So far, they're not doing super hot on this map, but I think they were expecting to be playing very differently with Gonfi and Slebit on the team tonight, and obviously had some refreshed strats for it. Obviously, they're probably going to try and use those, just going to have to slot Avian and Ghost into those positions, or they might just kind of have to improvise a little bit if it's something that just doesn't fit those players in terms of the roles. So we may see a little bit of shuffling, I think, potentially going on during the match. I would keep an eye on what operators they end up playing, and if we see a little bit of shuffling to try and figure that out. They also don't have a coach, so they're not going to have the benefit of someone to kind of call those things out. I mean, I believe at the moment, is it Super, I think, is the IGL, might be calling some stuff out. I'm not sure. They might restructure things as well during the time when they brought in the two players, but it'll be interesting, to say the least, I think. And we'll see if DarkZero are going to continue to still be a very strong team.
Yeah, so what do you guys think, actually, since we kind of broken things down at this point in time?
I imagine mostly going to go to DarkZero, and
understandable.
Decent amount of faith, though, in Soniqs to potentially bring this, although I think some people were expecting the new blood in there potentially, but I don't know. It depends on if people are voting on Twitter. They may have also seen on Twitter what was going on, so you never know.
Speaking of which, make sure you tweet at us at ESL Rainbow 6 with the hashtag official1. Pro League, hashtag R6BL, and let us know what you think about the games. And of course, all of these votings prior to every single game, they're on live a couple hours before. You can go on socials and
vote it up.
Click on who you prefer. Is it one, the other, draw? If you're very indecisive, or you're very decided on a draw because there's a higher chance of one team winning than the other.
Yeah, we'll wait for the fourth match for those draw votes, I imagine.
Oh God.
So
Rogue versus Space Station in Pro League.
It'll be an interesting one, to say the least, especially with the roster change on SSG, which we'll, of course, get to when it's their match. Although I got to imagine most people watching this
if you have been living under a rock for the past few weeks.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be good. But DarkZero, like I said, haven't changed their roster, and so I want to see if they've made some adjustments as well to how they're playing. But I don't think they needed a ton necessarily. Like, they have a pretty good setup for the most part in how they play in terms of the player roles and things like that generally work. And now that they've had some time since Raleigh to think about that as well. I mean, well, also DreamHack Montreal, but between those two, they could take a look at what they could do to adjust things.
Well, pretty much every single North American team made it to...
I believe all of them did, but Rogue was the one that had to come in through BYOC.
Yes.
So I think it was, it was NA represent for sure. It was interesting. I'm glad.
You acquired the overwhelming.
I was scared that NA wasn't going to win it, even with all 8 teams there. Gotta say, I was a little nervous.
I have to say one thing that really surprised me, and I think looking back at it shouldn't have been much of a surprise, is FaZe Clan in the finals. FaZe's performance over the past year has definitely been up there, and I really think that FaZe are right now the biggest representatives for Latin America. Liquid, when it comes to international play, have pretty much been like non-existent.
Since losing Zig, it's definitely been a struggle for them, I think.
I mean, they won the BR6 finals, the Game XP, a few weeks ago, right? Or a couple months ago at this point. So yeah, Liquid on the home front are definitely working well, but international play is, in my opinion, where it really matters. And
FaZe have definitely shown that.
Oh God, they are just so good. And even with all of that, TSM was able to beat them. So, hey, Cinderella story. Who knows? TSM will have to survive, but that's their game later. Capitao and Nomad banned out.
So, I mean, the Capitao, pretty common ban these days. Nomad has been kind of off and on, but being able to cut off the rotations and cut off the flexibility of a lot of these players on a map that people generally rotate on defense a lot. I think it's not a bad idea at all. And we've seen some gridlock play sometimes as well, but I think that'll work out fine. And then, of course, Mira going. But it's no surprise that Echo and Maestro get to stay because of the power of cameras on this map. Although we did see a fair amount of IQ play as well earlier in EU to try and compensate for that and try and spot out those cameras. So,
well, now that DarkZero start off on the defense, they ban the Valkyrie, which means their strategies will revolve around just not having the Valk.
I would imagine
Maestro,
you replace with the Echo, yeah.
Yeah.
Because then you get double cameras, like, either way.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a 6-pick into that Echo at some point.
Yeah.
Well, you're going Cafeteria Garage. The dock is fine.
I mean, Echo's really strong here, without a doubt. I mean, the yokai intel that you get there, but 6-pick actually going to be used to the Bandit. They wanted to pretend to only be using the Mute to jam things, and Avian sneaking over to Ashe. Now, that's an interesting choice for Avian because Hibana's generally fit his role much more. He's not usually a heavy gunner on the team. No. So for him to switch over to Ashe is definitely going to be interesting. We'll see if that's going to be kind of a rush strat, and he's just going to push in sacrificially, or he's just going to try and frag out as best he can.
I think he's going to try to combo up with the IQ and the Thatcher to just take control of Piano, right? It makes sense. You go in through the main door, or in that case, go in the reverse repel and fire in through Piano outside of the window. It happens. It works out very well.
I just kind of wonder if that was Sleben's role, because he tends to play a lot of Ashe, and Avian just taking it.
At this point, you kind of need him, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm thinking, is just, it might be the case where they were just like, this is what our strat is, you just have to play it best you can. So, who knows, maybe it'll work though. Maybe just they won't expect how he's going to play it. But they are going to be getting at least the site set up, prepared as best as they can with that sneaky Bandit in there as well. Hot Cold actually playing at the back of Cafeteria at the moment, going to switch up. Still a little bit late barbed wire placement here, though. 15 seconds around. Hot Cold takes advantage of Ghost. It is a rush trap, but unfortunately backfiring. Neptunes goes down as well. 3 down already, and wow, a trade back.
Super and Goddess will find a kill each. Maybe try to bring this game back. There's fire headshot from Nixon. PC on Super. All right, that's a way to start. North America. That's the excitement I've been looking for. Thermite falling there at the end. The Super is the last man alive, and round number 2 goes in as DarkZero. We'll take the first round. And the problem was with playing, I mean, you were very correct in calling out the rush strat. Usually when you see an Ashen player, like, really? Is it really going to be a rush? I mean, especially, like I said, for Avian, I wouldn't have expected as much. But you know what? They tried. It didn't work. That's fine. They don't have to do it again. It's about the timing. And really, when you go and you're still focused on opening up the garage wall, I don't think that was much of the play. I think Secret, I remember this is like almost a year ago right now, when Secret played Mocket back when KS actually was in Pro League. Yeah, I know. Those brief moments. Those brief moments for literally like the first quarters. Is he going to go back to casting? He's just going to be a streamer at this point. Maybe he could join a team with Flynn, former caster. That actually would be hilarious. I would love to see that. The comms on that team would just be insane. Just like KS call in German. I played with him. It's not super fun. Then again, neither is playing with Flynn, so it's fine. Well, it looks like Avian is going to pick up the Hibana this time, and Neptune's going to take the Ashe role instead, and they are bringing the Gridlock. Yeah, okay. So the reason why I mentioned that Secret game is that they wanted to rush in, but what they did is they rushed all 5 players through the doorway to yellow, and then tried to spread out into white van and beyond it into the back of the site in the kitchen area. Whereas here, there were 3 players that rushed in and 2 that were focused on opening up the garage, which means you didn't have the max amount of manpower possible, and you're not putting all your cards into a rush. You need to when it comes to a successful rush, which it wasn't. So maybe that's something to look into in the future. And okay, Neptunes walks in, finds Hot and Cold. The Maestro camera is watching, and Hyper will find Goddess. That's something here to slow down Soniqs, but that's the FAMAS and the Twitch taken off the back. Nyx coming around from behind his opponents, though. He'll find 1 kill. That's Neptune's out of the picture. The Fuser is down on the floor, and the Maestro is holding down. There's 1 in yellow, and next we'll find another one. BC as well, the last alive again. It's the gridlock here. Super will find 1 kill, turn into 1v2, and the tracks are deploying, as you can hear. The diffuser's a bit far away, and DarkZero are just going to wait and play for time. They have it all to their advantage. Feels like we're watching Latin America at this point.
He does have a smoke and 2 track stingers left. He can cut off rotations and smoke for a plant, potentially, but it's not going to matter because Nick's just going to take his face off.
Nick's happens, and he plays the flank super well. Rotated back to the site from the service stairs. Beautiful play from DarkZero, realizing what's going on. I guess after they lost 1 player on the site, right? But
yeah,
hey, it happens. You're not expecting this, and now 2 rounds in a row for DarkZero. Soniqs will try to recover from this.
They're trying a lot of aggression, I think, again, because they're not getting to play the way they were expecting to play, and I think they're just seeing if they can catch DarkZero at any point with their pants down, just not prepared for something. But being a bit aggressive 2 rounds in a row is going to kind of tip that off a little bit. Although Avian actually going to 6-pick again, this time to the Lion. Should be interesting in combination with the phone calls here. Should make for some fun for DarkZero. But they are going to have the Mozzie to deny the drones at least. So maybe that will slow down any potential entry. But I can imagine they could play aggressive again by rushing in with the phone calls and the Lion EE1D going off, and then cut off the rotations for any map control that they take with the gridlock. But again, they've got to pull that off. Super here, the only one really picking up any significant amount of kills.
One thing I have to say, and I will correct myself, I said that FaZe Clan were in the final for DreamHack Montreal. I was incorrect. I've been up for a while. So please, all I have to say is first, excuse me, it was Liquid versus TSM, as I actually was watching the game at home in Hamburg. But on top of that, I don't think you should be judging me too much this evening.
I hope you're talking to the audience, not me.
Yeah, well, you're going to judge me regardless.
Yeah.
Doing 2 shows in a row is definitely not easy, especially with travel in between. So, hey, sorry, it happens.
Oh, Neptunes tries to push in. Hot Cold actually misses that shot. Oh, there we go. Catches.
Yeah, he finds 1. Oh, close to the second. But the Soniqs are actually at least inside of the building. Ghost will find another on the Nyx, and the preparation for DarkZero is still happening. They're not done just yet. Hyper finds Ghost and denies the Soniqs from entering the site. Nitro Cell comes out, will not connect, and BC is checking around. The calls come in from the Dokebi from Goddess, and she will go for the plant. The shotgun missing. No, she's on the other side. Mint, what are you doing, my man? The fuser will be set. Hyper trying to find the angle. In the back, BC will connect to Goddess, taken away. Lion E1D being popped. Avian and Super are going to try to survive the rest of this round. Nitro Cell being thrown the side of the wall here, but the server stairs. Super watching. He finds it. Hyper's down on the floor. Takes damage, but Super eliminated. And it's Mint v Super as BC finds Avian. And that's the end of the round. DarkZero stop yet another rush from the Soniqs, and they put a 3rd round on the board.
All right. They picked the bomb site that most is rushed. Like this is the bomb site to generally rush on. After 2 rounds of that, that's the bomb site you go with. Interesting choice. I mean, to be fair, it actually started working there for the Soniqs a little bit, although some of the Mozzie play from upstairs had good angles on that. And then just the missed attempts with the shotgun from below, the C4 coming too late after the plant. But they just were able to pick up the kills upstairs, advantage to Super not being able to swing around. He had a nice attempt, though. He got the 1 kill, flipped around just about in time to land the shots. But I think had he got that kill, they might have actually been able to salvage that round. Mint on a shield. Just what the world needs.
Yeah, it's like, hey, Mint is great on shields when he's playing attack. How about we just add a shield on
Attackers need to locate and
defense?
defuse as many bombs as they can.
I think we're on to something. That's how Clash was born. Miracle of life.
Yeah.
Life finds a way.
To quote Mr. Goldblum.
Yes.
It's interesting, too, for those of you who didn't pay attention to the mid-season patch notes and things like that, not only are the shields in that are new, but they have also changed up who gets them. So, for example, now BC cannot bring a shield for himself. So you have to have different players bring those, and it really changes up a little bit who can bring what. So, for example, now Jaeger can bring a bulletproof camera, which I think is interesting, because that is a staple operator that now gets a bulletproof camera. Before, it was somewhat relegated to non-staple operators most of the time.
Yeah, it's kind of like to how do you say, give them a few more options so people would maybe pick them for different reasons.
Yeah.
Right? That's why you had the castle receiving that camera, you know, the Doc getting the extra utility.
It really helped increase Doc's pick rate.
And, you know, it makes a lot of sense. And then, you know, the garage rework was definitely something that worked well. Oh my,
finally.
Neptunes. What a shot on Hyper, and he wins it out.
That's one of the strong fraggers as well taken out, so that's a good start. But we've seen how these rushes tend to be ending up. Oh, the timing from Nyx. Oh, just barely missing Avian too. That's going to be him getting down for free, although the flank's still in play.
Nobody pushing in here from Soniqs just yet on the site, but DarkZero definitely expecting the worst. Nyx will come around. He's running, and he finds the headshot. Neptune's taken away. A lot of damage done to DarkZero. Super is left in with low HP. A couple rounds here will be more than enough to finish him off. Avian throwing one grenade into the back, but won't do much. Actually, it will down Mint, and Super will find one kill. Nyx, the kill on Avian. It's a 2v2 here with Mint down on the floor, and there's Ghost watching. Super's already on the site, and he fires it. Oh my, what a headshot from Super. Turns around and goes to the plant. Ghost walking in. The Maestro's trying to do damage. You're so low on HP. Super will be down and taken away thanks to BC. And another one. Oh man, Brandon Carr on the Maestro. He can do it all. And he can hold his phone in a very awkward way, but here we go.
I feel like Super is playing with a little bit of rage. He's really hitting his shots. Like, he has definitely been on for this team more than he usually is, which has been interesting to see that it's just, you know, they couldn't do what they wanted to do tonight, so he's just going to play to the best of his ability, and it's somewhat working. Again, another round where they almost managed to pull it off. Unfortunately, being on such low health meant that Maestro Cam could kill him, and there was really little they could do about it. You saw him trying to come around and take out the Evil Eye 4 Super, but just the timing wasn't there, and every round, it's down to those last few seconds. Neptune's leading kill was pretty good, and the fact that he didn't get the kill on the trade on him, but he actually brought the other player down to about half health, which with as little health as Neptune's had, is still a pretty good trade at that point. Still, so it's like 1.5 kills almost for what he did. So it's like Soniqs have these potential in these rounds. They're just never able to close them out. It's like that initial oomph they get going. DarkZero just kind of recollects themselves once they have enough intel and enough positioning, and then just cleans it up each time. They're going to try and play a little sneakier this time to try and compensate for that with the Nook, which is probably one of the few times we're going to see in Pro League, but at the same time, could be totally wrong. It's played one of this half.
Hey man, we saw Warden play it at least once today, and now we get to see another.
Ooh, 60 FPS. Yeah, my understanding is Ghost is playing from a laptop too, as he had to last minute pick up a computer. So unfortunate, it's not going to be ideal for him. So I don't expect a lot of heavy fragging coming out from him, unfortunately, but he's going to try his best. They are going with the shield again, but this time Houghton playing. It's shaking it up a little bit. So far, it's just been flawless in terms of defensive wins here for DarkZero, and unfortunately, looking like it could go all the way to 6-0 before the switch. But Neptune's sneaking in. He had a pretty good start last time. Now he's going to be a little invisible to those cameras, but that's assuming there is any cameras for him to really dodge at the moment. Nyx might actually run into him shortly. Oh, just barely missed him.
Getting up close and personal here. The Nook, on paper, theoretically, she's a very powerful operator with her ability, but
well, there's the
there you go. Neptune's finds it. So how do you predict him coming up? Well, it gets shot instantly. BC is just holding on.
What can you do against a shield? BC, I'm sorry, Mint right there. Playing a shotgun on the stairs it's such a powerful position.
Oh, one more shotgun kill. And finally, Avian will find the kill here. The refrag, a 3v2, and Avian with one, but Nyx puts it still. Advantage for DarkZero with Nyx and BC, and Nyx is coming in from below the garage and go up the yellow stairs, and Metamaestro Evil Eye is going to do so much work for DarkZero. Soniqs trying to go for the aggressive plays every single round, and every half of the round, we are down to pretty much a clutch situation. Avian getting up close here to the long desk, and will have to fall back. The diffuser is so far away, and
talking strat time. This is bringing me flashbacks of Avian and Ruins on Consulate. That's the very first time we saw this play, right? Was Avian making that play?
I gotta put a quarter in. Okay.
Yeah. Instead of hamster powered, it's straight up just coin powered.
This is clown powered at this point. It's like a clown car at this point.
I mean, to be fair, like Avian's putting in a pretty good showing considering he just got off a plane, I think, a few hours ago.
Yeah. But I'm surprised he can find quarters anywhere.
I'm surprised being an Avian, he has to use a plane to fly.
Yeah. One would think that would be an advantage, right?
Right? That's what he does to stretch his arms. Fortunately, stretching his legs is all he's doing at the moment, having to run around the map here. And unfortunately, no diffuser in hand means all they've got to do is guard it. And he really can't do a whole lot here, given the extra time he has. I mean, their early aggressive plays gave him extra time to work with, but, I mean, what are you going to do at this point? I mean, this is such a tough spot to be in. Nyx and BC can pretty much talk strat as well at the moment.
It's just, I don't know why it's going through my right now, but I don't know.
15 seconds.
Here we go, 15 seconds left. Bearing 9 in hand, now down to 10, and BC will spot him. Do you push him? No, you just stay back. He's going to be forced to plant. So you're going to have to play the mind game against him regardless. You go for the plant, and Ghost asking for... Let him plant. Okay.
Just let him. Come on, guys. He tried so hard. Just have some mercy.
Got so far.
Yeah.
But in the end.
It's certainly looking like that. Doesn't even matter. 5-0, DarkZero just not doing good here. This is, I'm sorry, Soniqs not doing good against it. Just DarkZero definitely playing their game. And I got to say, though, I think the Soniqs are putting up a decent effort considering the situation, and I'm somewhat impressed more than I usually see them with this lineup. Like, sometimes I feel like they play worse than this in better circumstances. So, although it would have been nice to see other players, but there we go, the fuse coming out. So maybe he's looking to slow his laptop down even more. The cluster charges.
I mean, actually, this is a site that might work.
I mean, last time they rushed it pretty heavily, but it's like, well, where? Are they going to throw it on the window? The least short visa? Or?
When you get on the site, and then you can just freeze.
That's true if they don't C4 you.
Look, man.
If they don't.
Look, man. I think you're digging too deep into this one.
I mean, to be fair, they didn't get the C4 last time, so it's entirely possible.
Look, I believe in my homeboy Fuse here.
It's true. He doesn't get enough play in Pro League, so...
No, this is like literally the first time he gets played in all of...
It's because England is not here anymore. To represent Fuse.
Box for England.
No, he is unfortunately not at the moment. Nyx prepping the castle barricade to be able to run through in case they decide to rush in. He can come up from a flank. It doesn't have to waste an impact nade to do so. And already bit of damage taken.
One bonus, though, that AK-12 is definitely one of the highest DPS guns in the game.
It's a good gun. It's definitely not a downside of Fuse is his gun. It's just his utility is just not there necessarily.
Just so slow.
Yeah.
So how much goulash can you have before you attack?
Oh!
Manti finds one kill and possibly the second. No, he gets dropped. No damage done to Goddess there. You lose the Ash, you lose the Clyde, and Equilibrium, and you can hear all the cluster charges going off. That's 2 of them so far. It's kind of clear DarkZero away from admin.
I appreciate them bringing the Jackal this time as well to be able to track down some of those players.
How do you deal with that?
No, these angles, definitely with an ACOG, it's just nasty. There's not a lot you can do against it. Ghost is definitely trying with these cluster charges, though. That's his 3rd and final one. Not even using them on the castle barricades, which actually kind of would have been a nice benefit of castle playing. But your feet are exposed while you do that, so the castle himself now downed, and there's still some Inox charges left for Super to use as well.
Super's going to move in. The diffuser is being held, but that's a distance. Cluster charge has been deployed and won't do any damage as Avian will take quite a bit, but finish off Hyper. It's a 3v2 now. Half HP, but hot and cold. Grabs Ghost. Super picking up the diffuser. The Maestro is looking the wrong way. It's a mute jammer that was disrupting Super here as he comes around from the back. And he's done. No track pads for this one. Super finds it. BC is down.
First round.
The Soniqs finally put up a round on the board.
Where was this Avian before? And Super as well. Between the 2 of them, like, we just hadn't seen this level of fragging out from either of them, really.
Yeah.
Although Super had some good rounds previously. I'm not saying he was never doing it, but I feel like Avian was definitely farther out in between those rounds. So him taking over that role has actually been okay. Like, he's been, playing things like Ash and Twitch, but also playing support occasionally as well.
And who doesn't love a bit of trash talk at the end of the evening?
It is NA after all.
Yes.
Definitely something they are specialized in.
Hey, man. It's good. When you win a couple tournaments a year, you can.
Yeah.
3 technically because there's USN.
Well, Blackbeard coming out here, interestingly enough. That is something that used to be a staple of Consulate, too.
It's like his 2nd or 3rd time played in all of North America.
It's because Retro's not running him anymore.
Actually, that's very true.
Because he started running, like, what was it, Capitao and Jackal, things like that, on those windows.
Retro is,
Located by attackers.
how do you say, the design block for Blackbeard.
Not in terms of looks, though. I don't think those two could be more opposite looking.
Hey, man, it's what he's got on the inside and that roar. Oh, Retro is a pretty cool guy.
You're only supposed to use the roar references when Lion's in play.
At this point.
It might be over soon, right? So just go with it. Well, either way.
Use up the material, okay?
Yeah.
I have a lot of it.
First defense round here for Soniqs. We haven't seen how they've been playing on defense yet because this is their first crack at it. So it could be a different turn of events. You know, I mean, who knows? Soniqs could come back here on defense. We've seen a lot of defensive sightedness at times, some maps more than others, but it definitely happens. You will go entire sets where it's just tons of defensive wins because defense generally has some advantages that are kind of inbuilt in the way that the game's played, especially with the speed that has to be played in terms of time management and the amount of utility that has to be expended. Defenders always have a little bit of edge in that respect. Also with things like the Mozzie to slow them down, the Pulse to be able to identify where they're coming from, along with the cameras. From the Maestro, there is a lot of counter utility that DarkZero's got to deal with. And of course, BC is the first to Super's jump out. I think that was an okay trade. Took out the nades. Had he been able to take out the Thermite too, I guess that would have been nice as well. But
Avian finds it. It's Min on the refrag though on Neptunes. DarkZero just walk on in. Avian has taken a lot of damage in the engagement before, so a singular bullet from the Mark 17 should be more than enough to dispatch the Avian. Zabuild. No, he's going to get healed up here. Ghost using up a stim pistol, so keeping your teammates alive.
Generally a good idea. Yeah. Still got a C4 in pocket as well. As pests have been used, but it's always good for denying things. Nyx, of course, hasn't run into it yet, but it will deny at least some areas of droning. It's unfortunate that the Pulse isn't downed, though. I mean, the Bandit dying, not a big deal. That's why Super was able to sacrifice himself. You know, he wasn't going to Bandit trick the wall or anything like that. He's just going to place him and then go for a sacrifice. That was worthwhile. Losing the Pulse is a bit more of a price to pay, especially if you wanted to C4 up for anyone playing above in piano and things like that. Pretty common thing. And just not even looking the right way. Ghost, unfortunately. Good thing he stemmed up Avian, because that's all he was able to contribute to the round.
Yeah, running out of trackpad space there, I believe. Nick's going to find the kill. Doesn't matter at this point in time. It's Avian and Goddess. Last two alive. Is there any information on the last two? You should know that the Maestro is close up to the garage door and might be seeing the Ash opening things up right above this. There we go. That's exactly what we wanted. Bandit batteries will be eliminated, and this at least should force Goddess back for a moment behind the white van. Been destroying the barbed wire as he's walking on in with the rifle shield and the Mark 17. Definitely something to fear. You see guarding the back here, Mozzie, but Goddess is going to go for the boost on the bench here, at least on the desk.
I have a feeling that they were prepared for the Sonics to be playing CEO as well, because they didn't bring the Thatcher and they brought the Blackbeard, so I think they were caught off guard by the garage play, but at least they had the Thermite and finally got it open. But 16 seconds left. This could absolutely work for Sonics until that.
Well, spotted. Mint will find the kill. Avian will connect to Hot and Cold. He still has some time left here. 8 seconds in, but DarkZero overwhelmed the Birdman, and that's DarkZero that take the round. 6-1. They're one away.
Again, I don't think the points are really reflecting like how well Sonics are playing compared to what I
don't think this game is so far representative of play of either teams.
I almost wish sometimes we were just comparing like the total number of kills as a side thing as well to see like how close it actually is sometimes. Because the numbers are, it's kind of binary. You either won the round or you didn't. And it makes it a little sometimes misrepresentative here. And it looks like they are going to bring the Thatcher this time for Garage, which is, of course, where they're going to try one more time. This time, Ghost sticking to the Vigil. That should be interesting. Looks like maybe no 6-picks here coming out. Looks like they're all confirmed. I can't tell. Yep, looks like Super checkmarked as well. But the 6-pick coming out from DarkZero actually not going to bring the Thatcher. I mean, to be fair, they didn't necessarily need it. I mean, there's
Defenders, protect your
2
bombs
other
from being
easy
defused
ways,
by attackers.
generally, to get those batteries out. You can either do what was done last round, which is attack from above in Piano. You could even actually do it all the way up in Console, especially since you were playing with the Nash anyways. You could have opened up the ground and then just breach charged down and shot it from up in the Console office. As well as you could push in through yellow stairs real quick and peek and take out the batteries that way as long as you're not being counter-peeked. So Thatcher's not absolutely necessary. He's just something that makes it much easier to get it done quick at the beginning, put pressure on the team to not be able to play all the positions in Garage.
So what's the plan? Where do you put this bulletproof camera?
I think he's just going to walk around and take pictures with it.
5 seconds left.
Do not pulse. It doesn't work that way. I mean, I guess as soon as he finds a spot, he's going to have to play near it or just try and identify where they're going to push from first. But
Not Valkyrie either.
yeah, you don't usually see an in-pocket bulletproof camera
And
that
there's the
low,
bulletproof camera.
right? Now, Vigil is someone who had a bulletproof camera before, though. That is not a new change.
Yeah.
He's just trying to get the vault up here to put it in, but it looks like Unpracticed is doing so. Hey, at least he finds a spot as a compromise.
It's always that 45-degree angle. It can do so much for you when it comes to vaulting over surfaces. You really can vault into places that you don't really think that you should be able to vault into.
Yeah. Super 1 battery pocket because he doesn't need it for the Grudge. And unfortunately, the eat doesn't work. However, you know what? He's just going to play aggressive. He's going to continue to do so as that bandit because as far as he's concerned, his job's done. He's just going to try and push them as best as possible. However, I have a feeling Jackal's going to track him down. Super says, it's fine, I'm outside. Y'all know where I'm at now. And unpunished by Mint.
And what can he do against him? Super is just going to keep moving around, being a thorn in DarkZero's side. Neptunes is taking a decent chunk of damage on his pulse, but he falls back down and placed by the servers as Hyper continues to drone. He spots 1 player in the bathroom here at the top and a second one. He's playing in close by the table. Avian shot down, the headshot. And Nyx is going to walk on down, expecting Soniqs to play dirty and come around from the back of the flank. Super's just putting a lot of presence here, close to his pulse, but the site is actually open here. You just walk on in. Hot and Cold is actually going to open up the site for himself and his team. There's a Maestro camera right on the side, and it will be destroyed thanks to the Ash Slither. Come around from the back. Super finds Mint, takes him out. The call, though, has been made, so information all up for DarkZero. 1 more kill for Nyx. He finds a headshot. Super, can he find the ace? Nyx is looking for it, goes in for the 1v1, but Neptunes will win that out. Not for long. Round 8 is done. Hot and Cold secures the kill, and that's it done.
I got to imagine Nyx was really hoping to close out with that ace right there, but absolutely crushed them that round. So unfortunately, I think they were starting to run out of steam a little bit too, but I do think the way that they were playing in terms of aggressive, flexible roam, like the way Super was playing especially, was probably their best bet. And I was going to say that, you know, maybe it would have been a good idea to bring some roam denial in the case of like a gridlock or something like that, but it didn't really matter just because Nyx just went in and chopped up the site the way he did, opened the door for his team. And
I think just the entire Soniqs were just not feeling it tonight.
Well, I mean, it's understandable. They're definitely not in the situation they wanted to be in now. And
given the situation, I get it. I don't want to weigh too hard, but hey, the BM is BM, and
I can't say it was unexpected.
Yeah, when you try your best, but you don't succeed.
Yeah.
You didn't actually try your best, but.
Well, I think this continues to give DarkZero a strong chance of going to Japan.
Yeah, you
Another win.
basically give DarkZero 3 free points, if you ask me.
And I think it's looking like a possibility that we see them there.
They're 19 points at this point in time. The Soniqs remain very firmly at the 8th place. The Reciprocity and Evil Geniuses that are playing, but they're playing a bit later, so against one another.
I'm sure TSM is very happy about this outcome as well.
That game might actually determine how things go because EGTSM is Palladium number 9, so in just a few days, on September 25th. So, yeah, things are going to wrap up pretty quickly now.
It should be interesting. I mean, you kind of know who the top contenders are at this point. There's not. I don't think we're going to see TSM somehow rocket to Japan. I think they're just going to be like, well, let's just stay out of the last spots. Let's not get relegated out. I sincerely doubt they will. Although Soniqs looking like if they're not able to get Slevin and Gomfy on the team, they maybe struggle to do that because, I mean,
paperwork is difficult, man, and
It is.
It really takes months to get paperwork done.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah, obviously we can't speak to the situation because there's internal details, I imagine, from both sides.
It's definitely
struggled
not our,
with, but
it's not our thing to comment
Yeah.
on. But just stating a fact for anybody out there that has not gone through this, paperwork can take a while.
either way, it's a big bummer.
Yeah.
So, but that's
Hey,
the first match. So.
If you're a DarkZero fan, hey, you get 3 points.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And I mean, like I said, I thought the Sonics at least tried to an extent. I don't think they were expecting to win, but I think they were just like, let's just throw it at the wall, see what sticks. I enjoyed some of the rounds.
If anything, what stuck was Nix. So let's
Yeah.
have a quick chat with him and the rest of the squad here at DarkZero. Good evening, Nix. How are you? Congratulations on your victory, 7-1. It's pretty good here when you come in from the first half of the season, right?
Yeah, definitely, Milosh. How you doing?
I'm pretty good. I saw you guys have a new wall up with some nice stuff. Why is my face on there?
I don't know. You're a good-looking guy. We just decided to put it up, and I don't know. You'd have to ask our owner about that.
Moi? Me? I'm so flattered. Thank you so much. Again, I don't know how much we can comment on this game. I understand things from Sonic's perspective, but for you going into it, Consulate, was it pre-planned? Was the strategy against them just ready there, just to execute?
We knew that the map was going to be Consulate, either that or Border. And we just prepped how we prep for every other game. Odd watch, saw what they were doing. We prepared just how we always prepare and just came out and played our game. So we didn't really look into what they were doing too much. We just thought if we just play our game and focus on what we do best, then we'll come out with a win. So
yeah, and you definitely did. Now, this puts you way ahead of the competition. EG Reciprocity is the upcoming game. And I really want to ask you, because you're at 19 points now, is there any team that you're rooting for in that game?
No, not particularly. I think EG Rec they're both really talented teams, and I'm actually really excited to see how that game plays out. So
You're getting closer and closer to Japan. Who knows? Maybe that spot will be yours. General question. Anybody you're afraid of in the second half? Because we've seen teams, they go for a fantastic first half of the season and then kind of walk through mud every now and then in the second and then end up not being able to qualify.
No, there's no team in the league that we're scared of per se, but there are teams. Every single team in North America are very talented. TSM obviously just took DreamHack Montreal, and they're 7th place PL right now. So just because they're 7th place doesn't mean that you should be taking them lightly. They're a very talented team. SSG with their new roster change look extremely strong too. So there's a lot of really strong competition in North America right now. We're just going to keep focusing on us and keep improving every day and make sure that we can maintain this #1 spot.
Yeah, and I've seen your facilities. From what Bacon has tweeted as a picture, that bathroom that you have is bigger than the studio apartment I used to live in back in university, only a couple years ago. So yeah, it's pretty darn crazy out there. Everything is bigger in the USA. But anything you'd like to say to your fans at the end of this, I guess, fruitful day?
Thank you to all the DarkZero supporters. We really appreciate it. Stay with us on this road to Japan. We hope to come out with the spot. So thank you to everyone.
All right, thank you so much, Nix. Congratulations on your victory against the Sonics, 7-1 at the end of the day on Consulate. Good night.
Thanks, Milosh.